Welcome to part 3 of the war on Palestine. Israel or Nazi Germany? To the world, Israel is beginning to resemble the former Nazi Germany. This is why there are a growing amount of Israeli and American Jews who are standing up against the atrocities being committed by the present-day Israeli government. Some Israeli youth are refusing to join the Israeli military and are prepared to go to jail before being a part of this evil genocide. They have taken a position of, not in our name. They are speaking out on how they are being indoctrinated within the Israeli and American Jewish media and school system into believing that the Palestinians are an inferior and bad people, like in the old cowboy movies, where the settlers are the good guys and the Indians or Native Americans were the evil savages or the bad guys. Think about it. Why have so many of us found ourselves rooting for the cowboys in this scenario, even though we know the so-called white man in America came from Europe and killed off almost all the Native Americans while enslaving African Americans for 400 years? Why, to this very day, would African Americans willingly join the military, prepared to go overseas and kill black and brown people in their own countries who never did anything bad to us, for the benefit of a few multi-billion-dollar companies raping those nations of their dignity and their natural resources? This is the powerful influence of a prominent false media and miseducation system. The cause of the problem: blatant disrespect and ungratefulness on the part of the Israelis. As for the European Jews, it's a bit hypocritical to expect the world to feel sorry for you because of your Holocaust when you have been inflicting hell upon the Palestinians who showed love by taking you in when you had no place to go. Why are you punishing Palestinians for what the Germans did to you? Why didn't you go back home and take over Germany, Russia, or Poland as your home state? Proper behavior. To my European Jewish brothers and sisters, after experiencing the Holocaust, which was a crime against humanity and is the platform you constantly use to protect yourself from so-called anti-Semitism, it seems the best approach would be to be a gracious and humble people, as to show and prove that Hitler and the Nazis were wrong about you. The world should be on your side for all the right reasons, like for representing righteousness and being defenders of the truth and never the aggressors. This is how the true chosen ones of Allah, the God, would act. Although there are some Israeli Jews who are against and are presently protesting against the war crimes their government is committing, as they say, not in our name, these are those worthy of respect and the blessings of Allah. Unfortunately, there are many, including most American politicians, even the black ones, who know this is wrong but support it anyway. The evil ones curse themselves and are earning their place to be with Shaitan the devil in the pits of hell. This is what we mean when we say they are the losers for abusing their power and authority. The Palestinians are never going to forget what Israel has done to them, just like the Jews will never forget the Holocaust. This latest so-called war, where Hamas has some rockets, guns, hand grenades, and stones, while Israel has tanks, missiles, fighter jets, and nuclear weapons, etc. This is not a real war, but an every 20-year land grab, this time perhaps for Israel's proposed project, the Ben Gurion Canal, which is named after David Ben Gurion, the founding father of the State of Israel and the first Prime Minister of Israel, 1948 to 1963. It is planned to rival the present-day Suez Canal, controlled by Egypt, which presently reaps billions annually in tolls from ships cutting through Egypt as a shortcut. The Ben Gurion Canal would connect the Gulf of Aqaba to the Mediterranean Sea. This present-day land grab will help in this effort to make up for land taken away by this canal. They feel now is the time for Israel to be able to finance such a project. Allow me to explain. On August 28, 2019, Israeli prospectors discovered at least 7 billion barrels of oil in the West Bank of Palestine. The Palestine National Authority opened a bid to explore in the area where the last discovery was made. However, Israel blocked this bid. Oil and natural gas resources in occupied Palestinian territory could generate hundreds of billions of dollars for development. Geologists and resource economists have confirmed that the occupied Palestinian territory lies above sizable reservoirs of oil and natural gas wealth in the West Bank and the Mediterranean coast off of the Gaza Strip, according to a recent UNCTAD study. UNCTAD stands for United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. The reserves found are valued at over $524 billion in US dollars. These funds could finance socio-economic development in Palestine as part of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. However, so far, the Palestinian people have been prohibited from exploiting the oil and gas reserves in their own land and water to meet their energy needs and generate fiscal and export revenues. Also critical are the new oil and natural gas finds in the Eastern Mediterranean that Israel has begun to exploit for its own benefit. What could be a source of wealth and opportunity could prove disastrous if these resources are exploited by Israel exclusively without due regard for international law, the study warns. Israel's exploitation of Palestinian natural resources, including oil and natural gas, imposes on the Palestinian people enormous costs that escalate as the occupation remains in effect. Israel has had and continues to have a blatant disrespect for international law. And America's support of Israel, no matter what, is also a clear violation of international law. We as patriotic Americans clearly see the need to elect politicians that side with righteousness over gang affiliation. Right now, the good old USA is serving as an accomplice to the illegal activities of genocide taking place in Palestine against the Palestinian people. Is the Palestinian solution a two-state solution? No. What is needed is a two separate country solution where each country is protected by the international community under international law as originally intended by the United Nations Accord. The Israeli military-backed settlers must get out of all the land of Palestine that has been confiscated illegally over the past so many years against international law. Israel must stop ignoring the rest of the world by breaking international peace agreements, usually right after they are signed and before the ink is dry. Reparations for Palestine. Israel must pay for the rebuilding of all the institutions and infrastructure destroyed during this assault on Palestine. If they disagree, full international economic sanctions must be brought against Israel, and whatever financial and military aid Israel was receiving, especially from the U.S., should now go to Palestine until Palestine is rebuilt free from terrorism or military harassment of Israel. The illegal settlements must be confiscated and the illegal settlers must be deported back across the border to Israel, never to return unless under Palestinian authority. The international community owes this to the Palestinian people for allowing this travesty to occur. The unnecessary murder of over 40,000 Palestinians, or this Palestinian Holocaust, shall never be forgotten, and these innocent lives shall not go in vain. They shall be known throughout history as those who were sacrificed for the future international security of Palestine. No more peace talks. The killing must be stopped. The international community must step in, and this must be enforced by UN security forces now. Palestinian Independence Day is on the horizon. Long live Palestine. Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar.